What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Goblin, and today we are coming in with episode 1 of a brand new series. This one's going to be a true banger, and I hope you guys are just as excited for this series as I am. Now, in this episode, I'm going to be kind of explaining what is leading up to this series, what launched this whole endeavor, and how everything got started. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Drop a like if you do, and also go follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. I'm only like 200 followers away from 11K. That's a big number. Go juice up my tweets. We be doing fun shit like follow sprees, tweeting funny things, all that shit. Go follow me. Show me some love on Twitter. I tweet literally all day, every day. Go follow my stupid shit. Without further ado, let's dive right into it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Hotel series. Now, before I dive into the story part, I want to give a little summary of what this series is about. For those of you guys who may still be confused, I know that I've talked about this in the past on social media a few times and far between, so I don't expect many of you guys out there to really know what this series is going to be about before I say this, right? So essentially, 3 years ago now actually, back in 2017, I got kicked out of my parents' house for a little bit while I was still living with my mom. I had nowhere else to go. I only had about $1,000 to my name, which that's no small amount of money. Like, that's a good amount of money, and I was fortunate to have that much money to my name at that point, right? Because I was fresh off probation, so luckily I still had a good amount of money saved up, right? But I had about $1,000 to my name to play with at that point. I got kicked out with nowhere to go, no friends to stay with, and I had freshly turned 18. Not freshly turned 18. I'd been 18 for like 4 months at this point. But still, I was like just turned 18. So what I ended up doing was I went and got a hotel. We're going to get into that in a little bit and dive into it. Well, I don't know why I said in a little bit. We're diving into it right now, dude. All right, I'm stoned. Either way, thank you guys for tuning in. And also, you know what? Speaking of being stoned, dude, I just looked over at my bong, and the bowl's all green, dude. I packed it and never hit it. This is absurd. We're hitting the bong, dude. Everyone get your shit. Cheers. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm ready to make a video. Oh my fuck. Holy shit. Woo. Fuck. Oh my god. Call the feds. Oh shit. Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I just stated, this took place back in 2017. Now, at the time, I had recently gotten off probation. I was starting to get back into smoking and partying a little bit again and being pretty irresponsible. And my mom had kind of given me this ultimatum where she was like, hey, you know, if you don't stay on the straight edge after you get off probation, you're going to get the fuck out of my house, right? And as you guys could tell, eventually that did unfold, as now I live on my own in my own place. But back then, this was kind of the beginning stages of me moving out, right? Like, this unfolded over a long period of time. There's a lot of drama here. And one particular night, my mom had gotten home from work, and I guess I'd just been chonging and playing RuneScape all day. You know, the typical bum shit I was doing, right? And my mom gets home, and she's just sick of it. And we get in an argument, a pretty big argument, right? About me smoking around the house. And she's like, oh, you know, when I thought you got off probation, you were going to continue to be sober, and you told me all that. And, you know, then you're not, which, hey, I might have capped a little bit. But what are you going to do, dude? My mom was never going to allow me to smoke. So it was fucked. And, you know, this whole entire fight started over weed. And now it's legal, and I'm smoking legally. So this whole entire scenario never had to happen, essentially. But nevertheless, we get in this little argument or whatever. You know, and she's like, you know, you need to get out of the house. You know, you just can't stay here if you're going to keep acting like this. And, you know, me being the little stubborn, hard-headed motherfucker I am, she gave me this ultimatum. She's like, you know, either, like, get rid of all the drugs you have right now. Like, she's like, get rid of all the weed you have right now in front of me, or get the fuck out of my house. And I'm like, you know, me being the stubborn son of a bitch I am, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get the fuck out of the house. So I get up, I'm like, you know what? I'm getting out of the house, Mom. You know, so I didn't get, like, technically, like, kicked out. Like, I had the option to stay, but my little hard-headed, stubborn ass was like, no, I'm not dumping all my weed in the toilet, dude. I'll get out. And originally I had only thought that this was gonna be for like a night, right? I only thought I was getting kicked out for like the night or something. She was just mad at me, you know. So I start getting my stuff together. Hop on my phone. I call up my buddy Kevin, longtime friend of mine, character in countless videos. He is on like the Ashton and Chris tier of friends, right? I call him up. Not to say he's not as good as them. They're all equal on that tier. The tier, the playing field's even on that tier, all right? But nevertheless, I call Kevin up and I'm like, hey, bro, you mind if I come spend the night? And he's like, yeah, sure, dude. What's up? And I'm like, oh, I got in an argument with my mom. She doesn't want me staying here tonight. And he's like, yeah, man, sure. So I start packing up my bags. I go hop in the shower, freshen up a little bit, and it's like me and my mom aren't like yelling at each other. Me and my mom were never like very like bitter to each other. We would just argue. Like we'd never raise our voice and shit, but we would argue all the fucking time about smoking and shit, right? So like I get out of the shower, right? I get my clothes on. I start packing up some of my clothes and stuff, figuring, okay, no biggie, packing up my toothbrush. My mom comes in my room. She's pissed. We argue a little more. She's like, yeah, don't, like, you need to get out. Like, until you're willing to, like, change, get out. Like, don't come back. So at that point, I was like, oh, okay. She's really serious. Like, she doesn't, like, this isn't like a, oh, go spend the night at a friend's house kind of thing. This is a, like, get the fuck out of my house thing. So I'm like, all right, well, that's interesting. So, I pack up my shit and I hop on my phone and she's like, well, like, are you leaving? And I'm like, yeah, hold on. I told her, I was like, I didn't realize like you meant like more than one night. So I got to figure out where I'm going, like for more than one night, So she's like, yeah, just get out of my house. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I go hop in my car and I just go pull out of my house and pull over a little bit. All my shit's packed. I got my weed. I already had a blunt rolled up. I always had blunts rolled up. So, I spark up this blunt and I'm just chilling out. I'm a little stressed, honestly, because I'm like, fuck, man. Like, well, where am I going to go? Like, what do I do? Like, am I really living on, on my own now? And I'm like, nah, there's no way. My computer is still at my mom's house, like a lot of my belongings are still there. There's no way I'm gone forever. And I wasn't, but like, and at that time I was tweaking and I was thinking like that, right? So I'm like, I think I'm going to have to get a hotel, right? So me being impulsive as fuck, I'm on my phone and I'm scrolling online through hotels. And I realized really quickly that you have to be 21 to book a hotel pretty much anywhere. And I was only 18. So I was like, oh shit, dude. I couldn't get a hotel at a lot of these decent, places I could book online. But there was one seedy hotel that I'd been to before and booked rooms at before that I knew didn't care if you weren't 21. And half the time they wouldn't even ask for your fucking ID. Like, these guys did not give a shit. So, of course, I go straight to this motel, right? It's like $50 a night, which sounds expensive. However, for the area I was in, that's not. That's fucking cheap, dude. That literally, I looked online. I think it was the cheapest motel in my area. It was like $50 a night for like a double bed, like a 2-bed room. And for some reason, the room with 2 beds was cheaper than the room with 1 bed. I don't know why. I think it was because it didn't have as many like amenities like the microwave and shit like that, which I don't fucking care, dude. But nevertheless, I go to this hotel, and on my way there, I'm just smoking this blunt and chilling. I call up Kevin. I'm like, hey man, change of plans. I got a hotel, and he's like, what, dude? Okay. I go get this hotel, right? I end up booking 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks in this hotel. Right? I booked like 15 days. So I was like, half a month, that'll do me. Right? I'm like, whatever. This ended up costing me quite a bit of money. I ended up getting a really good deal because it didn't cost me $50 a night. Like, $50 a night was not what I paid. $50 a night was like the flat rate. Like, if you went in and got one night, it was $50. I don't think I clarified that. But I ended up paying less than that. So, guys, this hotel, man. When I tell you I'm walking up to my room and the guy 2 rooms over, he seemed to live there with 2 prostitutes, it appeared. Neither of the prostitutes, because the reason I had a suspicion they were prostitutes is A, this guy looks like riffraff, and he would walk around shirtless all the time, right? When I'm walking up to my room, I see this guy standing down there smoking a cigarette with these 2 Latina chicks, right? And later, when I'm taking the garbage out of my room, like a couple days later, these chicks are taking garbage out of their room, so I bump into them. So we like say hello and like we chat a little bit, and I realized really quickly these girls are not from here. Like, very thick accent, not the best English. Like, they're very clearly not from Illinois. You know, obviously they were not born and raised in Illinois, right? So I'm like, all right, how did they end up with this like white riffraff dude? This has to be some fucked up scenario, dude. They're walking around in some like skimpy little underwear with like hoops on, dude. I'm like, okay, I think I'm starting to get what's happening here. But nevertheless, either way, I go up to my room, get situated, and it wasn't like dirty. Like the room wasn't bad. Like it was doable, dude. I didn't look at the mattress and shit. But like a surface level, the room was clean. So, you know, I get all my stuff settled and I immediately realize that I'm running pretty low on weed, right? So I hit up Chris and I'm like, hey bro, does your brother have any loud? He's like, yeah, dude, come over. So I hit up Kevin again and I'm like, hey dude, I'm gonna go buy some bud. Then I'm going to slide over to your house and let's link. He's like, all right, for sure. I go over to Chris's house, shake up with him, kind of explain what just happened. I'm just like, yeah, man, I'm kind of in shock. Like, I just had to spend all, you know, like $600 on this hotel, like $500 on this hotel. And it ended up being like 500. I got an incredible deal. It ended up being like 500 after tax and shit. Like it was a phenomenal deal for the hotel. But nevertheless, I go over to Chris' house. And I'm like, yeah, man, like I got fucked. And I'm talking to his brother, and his brother is showing me the pack he's got. And he's got some beautiful fucking weed. I think at the time he had Mimosa. And Mimosa, for those of you guys who tune into my streams and have heard me answer this question, it's not my favorite, but it's one of it's one of my favorite strains. It is a very well respected strain in my book. It's really up there for me. So I ended up getting a fuckload of this. I got like an ounce and a half of Mimosa, and then I got another 2 zips of some like lower grade shit to try to sell and make a little money, right? Just to hold me above water, right? So I grab all of that, you know, smoke a little bit with Chris and his brother, dip out of there and go to Kevin's. You know, I smoke with Kevin a little bit. Nothing really crazy happens yet. You know, the first night was pretty tame. I just kind of got in there, got situated, and smoked with some friends. You know, I smoked with Kevin, and you know, we're chilling a little bit, and I'm like, well, dude, I mean, I got a whole hotel, and he lived with his parents, so I'm like, dude, I got a whole hotel, dude. Let's slide and let's invite some people, dude. You can come through if you want. And he's like, all right, for sure. So, you know, he hops in my car. We go right back to the hotel room I got, and you know, of course, 2 men in a hotel room, but there's 2 beds, so it's no homo. Just had to clarify that, make it clear. But nevertheless, either way, once we got there, we started hitting people up, and it got much more eventful. But it's already getting to 12 minutes, so I'm going to call it here. Thank you guys for tuning in to the first episode of a brand new series. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you did. Once again, follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.